If you're building a business, especially a service-based business, the name matters a whole lot more than you might think. You want it to signal scale, you want it to sound big like an entity, but it might just be you behind the scenes making things happen. You need something you can stand behind, you want something that you're proud of, and something that you're not gonna outgrow in 2 years. These days, you also gotta make sure that the URL is available and all the social media hands are available. So it's a freaking tough job, but I recently did it. It took me about 2 weeks, and I wanna talk about and show you exactly how I did it. So we're gonna reverse engineer how I ended up coming up with the perfect name for my new consulting agency. You'll see how I started from zero, no fancy tools, just a mind map, pen and paper, a good old whiteboard, and a clear vision of who I want to work with, what I want it to represent, and where I want this to go. So if you're thinking about naming a company, if you're thinking about starting it, if you're stuck, it might help you come up with some ideas that gets you unstuck and find that name that you've been looking for. Then at the end of this video, I get into a different topic where I talk about the direct marketing campaign that we just launched, how I'm using postcards to increase the conversion rate of the leads that we already have coming through the business. Who sends postcards anymore? Nobody. Exactly. I'm launching my own boutique consulting agency, and I wanted to find a name for the company. A massive decision, especially if you're a brand guy like myself. I ended up landing on a perfect name that I'm freaking excited about, and it's secured across all the URLs and all the social handles. And I want to just talk about my process of how I came to this. So the company's going to be called Norse Consulting, but it's going to be spelled NORS3, and the domain is norse.co. Here's what I basically do. You start with a mind map where you just start going on paper without any other distractions. Find your block in the morning where everything's quiet and where you do your best work. I want it to sound pro, sound cool, easy to say and spell. It's intuitive, something that I'm proud of and I can stand behind. It's scalable. It's a container word. So I wanted it to be about a firm or a group. It wasn't the right container word for what I was trying to do. And actually in the very beginning when I was trying to think about, what is it that I'm launching? Is it an agency? Is it a studio? Is it a collective? And then using ChatGPT to talk through some of this stuff and coming into like firms, like, okay, that a consulting firm feels like what my product is, and putting all this stuff down. Architecture, I want it to feel big. I want it to stand alone. I want it to be short so that the emails weren't too long when you had to say, hey, I'm Cody at Norse.co. That's it. Versus, hey, I'm Cody at the Norse Consulting Group USA.com, right? So you're thinking through all these things. And at the same time, if you start to get close to one, pop over to Squarespace or GoDaddy and just search the domain. If you find one of your things, the domain is open, then what's it look like on social media? And can you grab those things? And give yourself the grace of enough time to sort of figure this thing out. Because you want to land on something that is like organic, it's true to you, something that you could stand behind. So back to how I'm figuring out the concepts and themes. I've got some directional ideas, and then I've got some themes. Okay, business development, planning, winning, action, risk-taking. I'm just circling around a lot of the words that are indicative to how I approach life and work. They make up the foundation and the beams and the wood and the trusses of your building as you're looking for that container word. And then just domain ideas as you start getting out on this. Like the Xanthus company was one that I thought was pretty cool because I grew up on Xanthus Lane as a kid in Minnesota, but a quick Google search finds Xanthus Consulting is already taken, right? And when we would go to ski, we would go to my grandpa's house and we have all this like Norway stuff and Norse would be on there, old Scandinavian medieval culture, Vikings. There's just a lot of cool heritage that was in there, and it was short and succinct. This isn't something that you want to rush into immediately, because if you're trying to build a lasting company that's got weight, that can scale, that can be bigger than just you got to give it the right name. And you got to give yourself enough time and grace and space for your intuition to surface ideas. It's going to be attractive to something, but then you sleep on it the next day and you're like, that's not so good. I was also thinking about NORC3, so Norse, but spelled with a C, but it was kind of like Nork 3. And I'm like, it sounds a little bit too military. I mean, it's cool, but it sounds like a bomb or it sounds like an energy drink. What does this actually look like? And like this, when I landed on this, I'm like, okay, the S and the 3 has got a really cool symmetry to it and sort of how it flows with it. It's centered with the R, which my last name's an R. And so, and it's got a nice balance to it. The N and the O on the right side, the S and the 3 on the N and the O on the left side, the S and the 3 on the right side. You've got R centered on the middle. How does it look like that? How does it look like with co? And after you kind of are doing all of these things, you're gonna land on something that like feels the total package. And then if it's available and it comes from that organic place where you've spent your whole life, it's just ingrained in your spirit and in your soul. If you can connect on all those things, then you know you're on to something special. And now the hard part begins of generating business. I got these postcards that just came in. And what this is going to be is 4 weeks after they do their intro offer, if they do not convert, we're going to handwrite them a postcard with an offer right here on the back that's going to land in their mailbox, and it's going to be customized at the top here based on their goals. So, hey Johnny, I remember you were trying to lose some weight and get strong. Did you find something, or are you still looking to solve that? And then we've got the offer right here with very clear instructions that is just meeting those people 4 weeks later when they probably still have the same pain points, but it wasn't a strong enough reason or timing for them to join. So 5 out of 10 people that purchase the intro offer convert to a membership. Well, that's 5 other people that maybe a couple are hard close loss, like, hey, they live in New York and our gyms are in Los Angeles, so that's not going to work. If we start to convert a couple of those, now our conversion percentage goes up. We don't have to pay any extra money to get those leads. And if we're being thoughtful like we are in our system, and we're capturing all that data at the very top of the phone call, the consultation call when they first come in, and we're qualifying them, we're learning about their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their fears, the things that they're stuck with in their fitness, and we can succinctly put that into the card that shows that person who gets it, hey, we care about you, hey, we are listening, hey, these are the pain points that you were trying to solve, have you solved them yet? Or if not, here's an opportunity to come back at a discount. What's the next thing 4 weeks later, then 4 weeks after that, and 4 weeks after that? Every champion has a turning point. Is this yours? Taps into that athletic background and adversity. And then on the back, we've got Initiation Week alumni gift, 25% off a membership. This is the Initiation Week packet that we give people when they first come in, and it's got a handwritten note on here as well. And then it's just got some, material in terms of how the program works, a bit more specific stuff, which I know is sitting in people's houses based off doing these feedback calls. So even if they never convert, this is just sitting in on their coffee table or whatever, or gals are bringing it with them in their purse because maybe they're like, I'm gonna read that eventually, but Allegiant is just like going along with them wherever they go. There's cohesion here from the actual design standpoint. Little decisions like that ingrain themselves into your design and your approach, and the little moments that say like, damn, these guys are on top of it, damn, this is consistent. And in a slew of all the other information and content and marketing that comes to people, you now have a fighting chance by just giving that same presentation, by just giving that same message, that same look and feel that adds up to feeling like a real entity that people can trust.